It's our old Georgetown. Oh, poor Georgie boy with a fiberglass roof. You see that bubble? Can you see the bubble? Look at the bubble. There's a bubble. See it? Pop, pop, pop. I think we got what you call some delamination going on there. Another one right there. Gee whiz. So this is what they do. Put the rail on the top. That becomes a water dam. Not really a good idea. And when this fails, put more on. Look at there. See how boing, that slide right in there. Look at there. Let me show you this. This is why you use primer. See how clean that looks? I'm gonna take this. This is gonna be a donut. We're gonna take a donut right here. I'll bet this whole thing come up loose. You feel it's soft under there too. I can feel that. It shouldn't. You shouldn't be able to plunge this. And I got a bull nose. It's not sharp at all. That's rounded over. That this should not be coming up like this. I'll show you how clean it looks underneath there. Because there's no primer. If there's no primer, it don't stick. Got us a diet core pancake. A cow patty. Diet core cow patty. Look at there. Look at, you can even see the texture of the fiberglass here. Rusty screw. It tells you water was getting in there. That's clean. That is super clean. People say clean as a whistle, but I'll bet somebody got some dirty spit built up in a whistle. But that's what happens. You can see this is all flexing. This is all rotted up underneath here. So what DICOR wants you to do is put more on, more on. The only one's putting more on is a moron. There's something wrong with that system. Look at here, same thing, right? But you think about it, I mean, if you had a good product, why do you need to keep applying it? You don't go around your house and redo the windows every year. It just doesn't make sense. You don't fill your tires up in your car every 3 or 4 months because it goes dead flat. Of course not, you've been bringing the tires back. Look at there. Look at this. I mean, I'm not even using it. Like, this is just pulling right up. See how clean that is? Look how clean that is. Slick. And look at there. Rusty screws. Rusty screws. The DICOR exploits people's ignorance to roof systems. And what they do, since you don't know anything about it, they're going to prey on your wallet. They're going to say, hey, you know what you need to do? You need to put more on, more on, more on. No, you don't. It's cheap stuff. I don't use it. I don't endorse it. I think it's a scam. That's my opinion. You know, I would not recommend DICOR to anybody. And the funny part about it is DICOR roofing is made by Carlisle Syntec, which is a commercial company. Carlisle makes a great product. They also make great lap sealant and everything else on a commercial level. DICOR doesn't want to use that because that would stop this. If it stops that, then you're not buying a new roof. You're not buying a new coach. So, but you can see just how bad this thing is. It's a mess. That peeled right up too. This thing's all cracked. So I better get on the hunt for that, for a new lens. And then you can see all here, all fractured in there. So you know water's getting down inside there. Roofing's gonna come over and round over on this. So I'm pretty sure, I gotta check, see what color we're gonna be putting on here. But we've got a few different colors. We'll go around the other side. Oh, here's another plumbing. Look at there, same thing. Come right up. Like I said, these are just bullnose, see? But it's not sharp, it's not like I'm cutting it. I'm not cutting it at all. I can just weasel that under there. If you can do that, it's not sealed. You shouldn't be doing that. Probably don't even need that anymore. I bet I could probably loosen it up like I did around the skylight. Man, look at there, rusty screws. So this is what I'm showing you. If you're going to go look for a new coach, this is just it's a joiner tool for a concrete block. All right, this one's 3/8. You can get them 3/8, ½ inch. But all I did was just bullnose it down. You go look at a coach, you get up on that roof and you do this. And if that pops up like this, and you can see all that, you can see all this, you know, if you can see it all, don't buy it. Or if you like it that much, buy it and bring it to us, we'll put a good roof on it. But it's that'll tell you a good indicator that it's not stuck. There's another one. See in there? Nice and pretty clean underneath there. It did not stick at all. It doesn't work. Dicor, I don't know the actual chemical composition of it, but all I could gather of what it is butyl with latex. Then when the latex fractures, and they go, hey, put some more on, and it exposes the butyl, and the butyl part will start to fail because the sun's UV light will really just start deteriorating it. So, but this will peel right up if I didn't have that lid in my way. Maybe be able to do it with the lid in my way. That'd be funny. Yeah, that thing's ready to go. Okay. See how clean all that is? So, I mean, it's not sticking. That is super, super slick. All that needs to be primed. You know, you can't just throw it on there. That's, you know, but again, that's why I have such disregard, if you will, for the RV industry, manufacturers. Everybody asks me, which one's better than the other? They're all the same. The only one I have not worked on is an Airstream. That's the only one I have not worked on. One of the canned hand-in Airstreams. That's the only ones I have not worked on. I'll bet this ain't gonna punch me in the face with a mold smell. Looky there. Ooh my. That's all right there. I think we need a new roof deck. That's my guess. You can tell how warped and displaced this is. It's just like all over the place, you know. So then we got these brackets sitting on here. I'll make a boot assembly for this. I may even redesign that bracket. I'm gonna get this awning off of here. I've done a couple on them for Fleetwood. So we're gonna get this thing off of here too, because that's just a water dam. I want the water to come out, and I want it to come down here. So they do. On these ones, they mounted it right to the side of the shoulder. On some of the Fleetwoods, they actually sit inside the gutter, then they impede the water flow. So what we're probably gonna do is I'm gonna elevate this, and I'll put some boots in there. We'll put another rail on it, and then this will be mounted, this will be mounted to another rail, and we'll have maybe 11 or 12 boots going all the way down, and then I'll redesign these. I'll bend them back out so they go straight. I'll make a boot, just much like I do on the plumbing, and then I'll have a bolt come up, and then it'll be all fastened, secured, and all that jazz. But I'm gonna fix that problem. That's just a water dam. So you figure if you get water on here, the water's got to go somewhere. It's got to get off the coach, right? So with this dam being here, it makes it hard to get up and elevate. I mean, whatever that is, maybe, you know, 5/8 of an inch total, I guess, and depending on which way the coach is leaning, would determine how much water actually gets on. But with this being here and that being there, you have always have a pool of water unless it evaporates off. I mean, there's no other place for it to leach, you know, to get off the roof. So that being said, now you get into some cold weather. Now you got an ice dam. Ice will back up. It'll get up underneath the air conditioner. It'll start compromising the gasket. It'll start compromising the seal of that. You know, you're talking about a big old sheet of ice that's on here, you know, and that's literally what's going to happen. So we're going to get rid of this problem for sure, and we'll elevate that, and then see what else we got going on. Make another Dicor cow patty right here. There's no way they don't realize this doesn't work. There's no way. How many years you do something, you go, really? This is the first I ever heard of that. Oh, well, here's an idea. Get an RV roof install YouTube channel, and they'll show you just exactly how bad your stuff is. Another cow patty. Look at there. See how clean it is? And that is slick. I mean, it really is slick. It is smooth. It's not supposed to be like that because nothing can stick to it. But it's in a plastic, so nothing's going to stick to plastic like that, not without a primer. So we have rusty screws here as well. And again, I mean, I can tear this open. It's going to be all just like that is. I know it is. So we'll be tearing all this out and figuring out what's going on with it, or, you know, get it all back to shape. And the other thing I don't like, which I'm already stewing in my head, look at the elevation from here. You know, you come out, look at that elevation. That's quite a bit. I don't have my tape measure on me, but gee whiz, that's got to be a little better than an inch. Probably an inch and a quarter, maybe an inch and a half. And I know there's a dip in there, but what I'm getting at is that the water can even roll this way. So I may end up putting a heavier decking down on this to build it up, so it'll be a little more fluid in the transition of that. Excuse me. We'll be getting rid of that antenna, and then, like I said, this shoulder's gonna pardon me. This antenna, this roofing is gonna come all the way down here. So, all right. Well, that's the Dicor experience right there. The Dicor experience. And all this is, and this is a fiberglass roof. But fiberglass, they're not any better. If these do not have curves on them, they're going to leak. It's just the way it is. Go online and Google commercial roof. You do images, commercial roof images. Just Google it, and you'll see the air conditioner, the vents, skylights, all these components. They're all elevated off the roof line. That's how a flat roof functions. So my background is commercial roofs. All I did was I designed these curves so they fit and function properly for an RV. You get on and look at those images, you're going to see humongous curves. You can't do that. It just isn't going to be proper for this. It's not going to look right, and it's also probably not going to function very well. But so that's what I did, is design them so they work and function well. And then I also make the custom boots, like you've seen on some of the other videos. If you haven't, you'll see them by the time you finish this one. And that also keeps these all set, where even if this cap pops off going down the road, or you're going on a campsite, here's a low branch, pow, there goes that. Now when it leaks, where's it leaking into? Right there, see? It's going to get into your roof right here. It's going to get right in there. The way we do them, it only can go down into the pipe. That's it. It'll go into your holding tank. So, I mean, depending on how heavy of a storm you have, I mean, you may have to empty the tank once or twice if you get a big, you know, hurricane or typhoon or something. Well, better to empty the tank, though, than to, you know, just obviously that'd be a heck of a lot of water, right? So that's where we're at. I don't like the way this is either on this one. It's the same, meaning like the elevation. And again, I'm taking into consideration this is rotted and probably sunken down, but still, that's a pretty good elevation right there that I don't like on here, meaning the difference on the roof to the fascia. This is the rear fascia, the front obviously being the front fascia. So but I don't like how much of a difference there is, because again, the water can't roll off properly. We'll be terminating it here, and we'll have one, but even if we had to leave this here, this is all going to be smoothed over and it's going to be brought down to here. So now the water can roll off the coach, you know, the way we're going to do it. So, but anyhow, let us get to work. We're going to take all this apart and get everything, you know, opened up and see what we can do and get this all done. So as you can see, one of the things we do when we first start a coach, we protect all the awnings. All the awnings are all protected. We do all that. Let's see, even on this other side, everything's all protected right here. All protected. We don't want anything to come about on the awning, so you know, some booger get on there. There's a screen on there, we want to protect that. And then we put throws and everything. There's all throws. We just took the battery box out because we had to get this thing going, but there's all sorts of drop cloths and everything in there. And then also in the front, you probably saw that when it came around this side, but we also, you know, chape off this. I don't want to get anything on the windshield, the front fascia, or anything like that. I want to make sure all that stays clean. So we even got the mirrors right there. That's the mirror. We got drops on those. We put drops on everything. Drops on here. Even though the window's open, we put a drop in there. So on the seat, I'll say it. I'll get it on the seat. So, you know, we want to make sure your coach is protected. I mean, you can come out here and do the work, but you know, hey, you did a great job on the roof, but you know, there's some booger on my awning. Well, you know, that's why we prevent all that. We do everything we can to make sure, you know, you get your coach back better than the way you brought it in to us, and we appreciate your business for sure. So let me get to work on this. I gotta find that skylight now that we see it's all cracked and blistered, and then we're gonna get tearing this thing apart. Check out the mess. You can see there's a heck of a belly right here. Compared to the way the rest of the roof is. It looks like there's still some camber up this way, but this is sunken in pretty good. That's all sunken in pretty good. So we're still got to get all this D-lam off of here. So it doesn't matter. This is a fiberglass. It's really an acrylic roof. Even though this is a fancy-dancy Georgetown, that is some fancy-dancy acrylic roofing that they use on pop-ups. That's what this is. That is pop-up roofing. So, but it works for this. They don't care. You're never going to look at it. You'll get up here and they'll go, hey, it's a fiberglass roof. And in a way, it kind of is. But it's really more of an acrylic. You can see maybe a few fibers in there. That's why they call it fiberglass. It's like an acrylic plastic, which is much like Phylon is, like the siding. And they have different blends of that. Some you can see the fibers in it more so. They call that tiger grain or something along that lines. And then obviously there's a little better grade. And there's different thicknesses too. So, but this is just cheap crap. That's all that is. That is super thin. See this. But anyhow, all it takes is for this water to get up underneath here, and it'll travel everywhere. It travels up underneath that. And that's how you get your problems. Well, we got the roof cleared off, and you can see what a mess that is. The ceiling is just absolutely trashed. So we are going to open this thing up and redo the ceiling. That's what we're working on right now. We're trying to get this one panel out right here. Gonna get them out in sections, and then we're gonna put them all back together. But it's gonna get a new ceiling. It is all rotted. I'm gonna go down and show you on the inside, but you can see from all this trash, the ceiling's about as bad. It is just as bad. So we got our work cut out for it. So that's why there's this big hump right here, because we're gonna take this piece apart in this section, and then we're gonna be able to get it all out and put it back together. A lot of work.
Our new Georgetown skylight. She's coming out. Like it or not. Look how bad that ceiling is. It is just absolute mess.
Look how bad this ceiling is. This thing is a mess. And it stinks. We need smell video. That's how easy it just pops right off. It's all delaminated, as you can see. That's all what this is. So we're going to have to skin all this junk off of here. All that. Look at it. Ooh. Mmm, delicious. All this too, see? So we're gonna obviously rebuild it. This is the roof side right here. So then the other concern that I'm just looking at is I want to make sure those air conditioner, that's an air conditioner duct that goes down that way. Obviously ceiling put back, right? But I want to make sure those are all set. I want to make sure there's not any booger in there. So we'll inspect for that too. And then I'm going to spray the bejesus out of this thing, probably give it a good mold kill bath for sure. You know, I want to make sure there's nothing in here. You can see some of this is released right here, this foam. It's supposed to be glued down, but it's released. Looks like they got two layers on here. And this is your camber layer. And this is just the ceiling layer right here. And then they put this one on top. If it's that bad, I'll just remove one layer and I'll put another piece on there. I can put another piece of tapered on there, but it would be a commercial grade if I did it. So, but I want to see what it is. If I can just squirt that and glue it back, then that'd be okay too, just as long as it comes all back together. But without, you know, beating up a wallet, trying to get it done. But that's where we're at with this. So this is the first piece we took out, and they're all going to be pretty much identical to this. So we got our work cut out for us for sure. Absolutely for sure. Coming together. This is a slide out. One there, and there's another one over here, over there. So what we're noticing right in here, we want to seal this right here all the way down. So we're going to prime this, and we're going to put 2 strikes of caulking in here, and obviously right here, we're going to get right here too. So that's a big gap. So we want to make sure water don't want to come back this way at all when the slide out's open. So we're going to get all that, and then also we're going to address that right there. It looked like a leak. So we'll get some in there and check the opposite corner as well. So we're going to check all that. Got a little bit of, tiny little bit of DLAM here. We're probably just going to put some adhesive in there and pull that back together. That should be okay. And then the rest of this is pretty tight. It's just waffled a bit. The roofing's going to come over with the shoulder anyways. We'll have a shoulder roll over it. And then there's going to be an aluminum shoulder once the roof is on, the actual roof deck. And then we'll have the roofing material come over. That's what we're working on right now. All right, this is our progress update. Here's our new ductwork right here. Boom. We've got some of it down here already. Right in there. It's our new ductwork running in. So we got all that. And we fabricated up the whole, because it just was very ugly. So I was kind of concerned about any mold or anything in there. Now once we get this together, you can always clean it with one of those swishers. You can reach in there and clean it real easy. You don't have to worry about all that foam, because all it was just a foam like this, and it had all sorts of glue on it, which just, you know, tends to hold stuff. I'll show you down here. See how it has all that glue on there. See, all that holds just filth. So now that we got the new trunk line in there, we've got it all taped up. Then we're going to just take that and we'll flip it over. We'll still have a smooth side, you know, like we did over here. That's all. So all we do is just flip it over. And now we're going to have decking going on here after we get all this all situated. We've got everything all marked, where the wires go, what trough they run in. We mark the troughs and everything, so we know who's who and what's going where. And obviously we test it before it's going to go, before we actually put the decking on it. But that's where we are so far, and to give you a progress update. We are foaming this roof down. We have gotten to that point. We've already got it over here, all foamed, the adhesive, got a lot of cinder blocks, we got the camber back in and everything, so we're moving along. We're moving along. There's a lot of block here too, that's for sure. Okay, doggy, let me show you what we got. We built new shoulder on both sides, so we got new shoulders. We got all that. We got our protective strips going down there. That's what these are all about. And we did such a good job getting this tight. It is super tight. We don't even need to put protective strips going across on this one. I only do it when you may have some questionable areas, but there's nothing here. This come out awesome. This section come out really good. So the next step, we sanded it down. That's why you can see some discoloration here, and even like right here, just to get them to marry up perfectly. So now what we're going to do is just clean it all up, make sure there's no dust on there. Let's get this roof on here. All right, what we got now, we got one side already glued down on here, and now we're rolling it with this big roller right here. We just balance it out. We got to flip this other side, and then we'll get all this other side glued, and we'll be doing the same thing. All right, so now we've got the glue on the deck. We got some down here, but we got to get it finished on here, and then we'll roll her over. This is our Georgetown. It is complete. We got our tag on here, rvroofinstall.com. See if that focuses in for you. There it is. We just made it out of the same color as that one, but there's October 19. So we stamp them so for a couple reasons. One, when they come back for inspections, we know how old they are, and then also if the person goes to sell the coach, they know when the roof was put on, and we do a 10-year transferable warranty. All right, this is what we got. So we got all our curves welded in. We've got some counter flash in the front, you can see. So this way, any water that's rolling around the air conditioner won't be able to get back up underneath that foam gasket. And then these are the vents. The customer's going to put these in. He's got other ones he wants to put in. So we just put some lids on them. Obviously, we got this all sealed up with skylight, plumbing caps. We got all that done. We've got 2 stripes of caulking down the side. So she's ready to go. This color is called slate gray, by the way, if you're wondering. Then antenna. We put a new radio antenna on there. Then on the awning, what we did was, you see we did those standoffs. See? You got a nice trough under there, so the water can get through there. Before, that big 20-foot rail was sitting on the roof. It was causing a water trap. So we welded in a whole bunch of standoffs on here, and now the water can actually get through here, see, and get into the gutter. So yeah, that's important to have them up. If you were to have this down like the way they did, then the water can't get off the roof. It just becomes a water dam. And you can see we got a lot of the shape back. We used 1/2-inch decking on this thing, so that's pretty strong. And then now we got the same flashing detail on the front. So everything's all done. We're ready to go. I'll show you what we did to the inside, because we had to do the ceiling, and give you a view once that vacuum shuts off. Okay, let's take a look on the inside. We got all new ceilings. So what we did as much as we could. The owner's going to try to fill in some of this, so we were trying to keep the costs down on this, and he said he had no problem with like fixing a couple of things, adjusting a couple of things. I wish the lighting was better so you could see. But if you remember seeing it before, with it all rotted, this is still a plus, even with bad light. So, but that's the inside here. Like I said, he'll end up fitting in a couple of these little pieces and so forth. you know, he can handle that.